If you don't believe in Jesus, you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you don't follow Jesus, genuinely, I don't understand how you live. And I mean that in the most non-judgmental way ever, but instead I mean it in a way where it's like, how are you navigating this world without the guidance of the Lord? Last week, God genuinely saved my exam. Genuinely saved my exam. And I mean that because it was literally divine. So currently right now, it's exam season. It's exam season for everyone. I have one more exam tomorrow. But last week I had one of the hardest exams simply because of the amount of content we had to memorize. And if you study psychology, you know having a closed book exam for psychology is extremely difficult. There's so much content to know, and writing essays in closed book conditions, the amount of studies, the research, the things that they're requiring, it's like, how much do you think my brain can actually handle? How much? Let me know. And so this exam that I had was actually one of my psychology modules, because if you didn't know, I study neuroscience and psychology. So this is a psychology module that I'm speaking about. A lot of memorization was going into this preparation of this exam. It was just getting to a point where I was literally like, God, I actually have had enough. I'm so tired. I'm working at the same time. Like, guys, when I say I work hard, like I work hard. That's why sometimes you see me go ghost on social media, because sometimes I actually can't do everything. And I have to actually just take a pause on one thing. Got to a point where I was just feeling defeated, and I was just like, I actually can't sit at this desk any further, Lord. I'm struggling to do it. I need your intervention. And this is also why I say studying is a form of worship, because this is an actual conversation I'm having with God at my desk. I meet Jesus at my desk every single time. I also took an insane risk, guys, because of the amount of content there is on this module. I decided I'm not gonna know everything. I'm just not gonna do it. I literally decided I'm not gonna have an essay plan ready for all 10 topics. I can't. I physically, mentally, I actually can't. I said, I know I'm going to trust God. This is how I felt. I feel sure about it. And God, guide me. I'm going to plan these specific essays. And Lord, you're going to bring out one of these to be on the exam. So already I'm a little bit nervous, because it's very possible that one of the questions one of the topics that I didn't create an essay plan for comes up, and then I'd be screwed. So I'm already praying and asking God to ensure that the ones I've done are one of them ones. Girl, one of them ones had to be the one, please. So anyway, I'm in a state of prayer the entire morning, even on the way to the exam. I'm fasting right now, so it's pure worship, pure prayer right now. As I'm on the way to my exam, I wasn't even gonna try to blurt or active recall anything, but I just felt called to do that. So I got on my phone and I started active recalling the essay plans I had memorized. Guys, on one of the essay plans, I actually decided I can't be asked to memorize this one. And to be honest, it came up in the mock, so the likelihood of it coming up again is very low. I'm only adding it just because I feel like it might come up. But as I'm doing the active recall on the train, I'm just getting nudged by the Holy Spirit to look at that specific topic and the plan that I planned, because I did plan it, I just didn't memorize it. I remember wrestling back with the Holy Spirit and being like, I don't need to active recall that. I don't need to go, not even active recall, but actually look at the plan, because I didn't know the plan. I don't need to do that because it came up on the mock, man. Like, I'm not looking at that one. Like, I'm actually tired. Like, I can't, I don't have the mental capacity. I'm moving on with my journey to the Excel Center, ignoring that nudge from the Holy Spirit to check that specific essay plan. Then it gets really urgent and loud as I'm walking through the Excel Center to get to the room. It gets so urgent and loud. Like, the Holy Spirit is like, check that essay plan. And I'm like, fine. Like, I've been wrestling with you for the past 30 minutes. Fine. I will go and look at it. But how am I going to look at it? Because if you guys know the Excel Center, there's so many universities in London that come to do their exams there at the same time. And it's always packed out. Like, when the exam is, it's always packed out. There's nowhere to sit. There's nowhere to bring things out. Like, there's nowhere to do any of that. So I'm like, God, where do you even want me to bring out the essay plan? Because I don't have space and I'm not about to stand in front of the exam hall trying to know things. Like, I'm just not going to do that. So where am I going to sit? As I'm saying that to God, I look to the left, guys, and there's a seat right there, like right there. Quickly go and take that seat. I knew that was God being like, you're asking me for something. I've provided it for you. Go sit down right now. I take out the essay plan, guys. It was literally 20 minutes before the exam. 20 minutes before the exam, I took a picture of it and I'm reading through it. So as I'm reading through it, guys, as I'm reading through it, the Holy Spirit is nudging me urgently again and says, you don't know this specific part of the essay plan. You don't understand it properly. You made the essay plan. You just ignored that fact that you didn't understand this thing properly because you're relying on it not to come up. I need you to know what that is. So I followed the lead of the Holy Spirit. I Googled that specific topic. It comes up. I read it. I understand it straight away. I'm like, calm, God, can I go into the exam? God gives me the okay to go into the exam hall. I walk into the exam hall. I'm praying. I'm like, please guide. Mind you, at the same time, I just did that just to listen to the Holy Spirit, because I'm like, you're giving me an urgent discernment. I'm just going to listen to you because I'm obedient. I'm fasting. Regardless, this is what intimacy with Christ looks like, is being obedient regardless, right? Walking by faith and not by sight. But I truly definitely didn't think that topic was going to come up because it came up in the mock. I'm like, I'm just doing this because you're telling me, but it's not going to come up. It's going to be one of the ones I actually want. Like, God, what you're really going to do is give me the ones I want. The time comes for us to open the exam. I go straight for the essay. I don't know if everyone else did this, but me, I went straight for the essay because I needed to see straight away what it is. Because if it comes up that it's a topic that I didn't plan for, then I'll go back to the multiple choice and see if I can pick up any random studies or any random points that I can add to the essay. The first question I read, I said, ain't no way. It's a topic that I didn't prepare for because I assumed it wouldn't come up because we also had coursework on it. I'm like, you're not going to ask us to write an essay again on this topic. We had coursework on it. So I'm like, okay, God, please. The next question, please. Tell me why the next question is the exact topic, the essay plan that I had ignored, that God was nudging me the entire morning to look at, to read, and to know. And tell me why even further, the topic, the subtopic that God had said, you don't understand this, go and research it, I'll give you the knowledge. Tell me why the essay was surrounded around that subtopic. Guys, if I was not obedient to the Holy Spirit, I would not have been able to write that essay because I didn't know the plan. I still didn't even understand part of the plan 20 minutes before the exam. I literally sat there and me and God had a moment. I was like, God, I see you. Fourth wall was broken. It felt like the fourth wall was broken. And I just sat and looked around and I was just like, some of you guys actually don't get this because you just don't know Jesus. Like, and how is it that some of you guys can operate in this world without knowing him? Without that divine intervention, guys, I promise you my exam would have been done, bro. I wouldn't have been able to write an essay for either one of them questions. What are we talking about? One, I didn't have any plan for, and two, I didn't even bother to know it. So when I'm even writing, guys, when I even say I had so much to write, mind you, I only just downloaded the knowledge into my mind 20 minutes before the exam. That wasn't my memory. That was the memory of the Lord. That was the Lord writing the exam. I'm not even joking, genuinely. On top of it, in fact, I'm going to have to do a part 2. I'm never one of these people, but I'm going to have to do a part 2 because there's so much more to say and my time is running up. So come back for part 2 because there's more to the story.